floodplain here. Okay. Jesus said a lot of things that he is. I don't know if you remember some of them. Some of them were kind of strange. Like he said, I am the, remember that one? Gate, yes. Yeah, he said some things like that. I am the good shepherd, okay, yeah, I can understand that. I am the truth. I am the Omega, yes. And I am the Alpha. I'm the beginning, I'm the end. Well, I got a story where Jesus says something about himself, and it's like the number one thing he says about himself. And if we can say that about him, we've got it made in shade, okay? So, Jesus was able to love everybody, because God is love. But he still had special friends that he'd like to be with, right? You can have your best friends, even though you love all your other friends. There's some you hang out with more. That's okay. That's okay. Jesus had 3 real special friends. Mary, Martha, and their brother Lazarus. Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And they lived far away in a little village called Bethany. And Jesus was away, he wasn't visiting. And one day, Lazarus got real sick. So we'll have him lying down there, okay? He got real sick. So Mary and Martha are worried about their brother. So they send someone out to find Jesus. It takes them a couple days to get there. I mean, it's a long haul. And he comes out and he finds Jesus and some of Jesus' disciples, his followers. He says, come back to Bethany fast, because Lazarus is real sick, and the sisters, Mary and Martha, want you to come back and heal him. And what does Jesus do? He says, nah, let's hang on a bit. Let's just hang around for a bit. In fact, he didn't get moving for 2 days. He stayed where he was. And then the disciples are saying, he's sick. Should we go and you can heal him? And Jesus said, he's just sleeping. He's just sleeping. And then his disciples said, oh, if he's just sleeping, he'll wake up and he'll be okay. And Jesus says, no, you don't get what I'm saying. When I say he's sleeping, I mean he's died. But let's go. Let's go. So it takes them 2 days to get there. And they show up. And Martha, there's Martha. She sees Jesus coming, so she runs out of the village and runs up to him. Oh, Lord, if you had only been here in time, you would have healed Lazarus, but it's too late. It's too late, he's dead. And Jesus says, well, he's going to rise from the dead. He'll live again. And Martha says, yeah, I know there's going to be a resurrection of the dead someday. And Jesus says, no, look at me. Look at me, Martha. Look at me in the eyes. I am the resurrection. I am the resurrection. Well, Mary hears that Jesus is there, and she runs out and meets up with them. And Jesus says, well, where have you buried him? Take me to where you buried him. Oh, do you remember what this is called? Yeah, Emma. A tomb. Yeah. Is that what you're going to say, Michael? Yeah, you're right. You had second thoughts. Always go with your first thought, okay? And then you're right. Yeah, because the ground was so rocky, they couldn't dig graves like that. So they chipped a hole in the side of the cliff and made a cave. And we'll put a bench inside out of stone, and they could lay the body in there. And then they put a big stone in front, keep the critters and stuff out of there. And there was that. And Jesus said, well, take me to the tomb. Take me to the tomb. And so they started to bring Jesus to the tomb. And when he got there, Jesus did something. Shortest verse in the Bible. 2 words. Jesus wept. That means he didn't just tear up. He started to sob. When you're crying, you go, it's hard to take in the breath. And sometimes you make a noise. You can't help it when you're really, really sad and you cry. And that's what Jesus was doing. He was weeping. And everyone's looking and they said, wow, Jesus really must have loved Lazarus. He's weeping so much. Well, then Jesus says, and there's a crowd showing up now. And they know about Jesus and the things he does. So they're just wondering what's going to happen next. And there's a crowd. And Jesus says, okay, roll that stone away from the tomb. Roll that away. Get that out of the way. And the sisters, Mary and Martha, said, no, you can't do that. He's been dead for 4 days. It's going to smell really bad. That's what happens. But they do it. And they roll that stone away. And then Jesus looks up into heaven and he says, Father, I know you hear everything I say to you, but I'm praying out loud so that everybody around me can hear me pray to you and they can understand that you and I are one, that you hear my prayer, Lord God, Father God. And so he's praying out loud. And then he looks down and he looks at that tomb and he says, Lazarus, come out. And Lazarus comes out. Now what's he looking like? A mummy. Yeah, in those days that's what they did out there. They wrap you up, toe to toe, arms to the side, wrap up your head and your face. So I don't know. I don't think he hopped up. I think Jesus' word is so powerful that he just kind of like floated. That's how Jesus' word is so powerful. Oh my goodness. What now? Jesus looks at him and says, okay, everybody, don't just stand there. Unwrap the poor guy. Take those bandages off him. And that's what they do. And there's their wonderful brother Lazarus alive again. And well, and he's no longer sick, and he doesn't stink either. Jesus said, I am the resurrection. And that's what the power that Jesus has. So I can just imagine what a happy day that was in the village of Bethany. That is a happy day. And it's going to be a happy day when Jesus comes back from heaven and he's going to give a shout like he did to the tomb there, to Lazarus. And he's going to give a shout and everybody who's dead is going to come out of their graves. And they're not going to be stinky and they're not going to be zombies. They're going to be young, they're going to be beautiful, they're going to be strong. And everybody's going to be happy to see Jesus. Because Jesus is the resurrection. And if you can say that about Jesus, you've got it made in the shade. Believe that he has risen from the dead and tell him he's boss of your life and you've got everything you need for life. Jesus, you're alive, you're risen from the dead, and you're my boss from now on. It's a wonderful, short little thing we can say to Jesus. It changes everything because Jesus is the resurrection. Thanks for coming up.